Do a quick and powerful one. Good morning.
Good morning.
We want to, just for a moment, maybe close our eyes. And we recognize and we know that there's power and there's presence. That presence, that power is here in this room, in this place, in the sacred place within. We are one with it here and always. There's not a spot that we can imagine where it is not. I declare and I know that the perfect people are here today to hear the perfect lesson and to have the perfect experience. And I further know that we leave today uplifted and encouraged and strengthened to have a wonderful week. So we open the morning in gratitude by saying, and so it is. So, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I was contemplating this morning and what to talk about and what to share. And I'm house cleaning more or less at the house, but out of necessity, not out of thought, because I'm such an organized person by nature. I decided I'm putting a new kitchen in the house, and so that requires moving a lot of stuff. And in the process of moving the new kitchen, I then realized he's going to have to tear out the floor. And the floor is adjacent to two other rooms, which meant, oh my goodness, the rest of the floors are going to look not right. So then I said, oh, the hell with it, just do the whole house. So the entire house is being emptied. And it exists in about 40, 50 plastic Tupperware containers at this point. So that's kind of exciting for me because it's an old house that will look new and it'll be nice to live in, and but it'll be messy while I'm doing the cleaning. And I'm thinking here, there's cleaning to be done within always. I wasn't prepared for the exuberant song this morning. And I thought, wow, that wakes me up. And I was able to glance at faces, and some of you have light in you when you see things that are fun, and then some of you don't. And some of you can't respond. And there's nothing, it's not that you can't, it's just that you're in a place perhaps where you don't, or something's going on. And really, this teaching affords us the opportunity to clear out the house and to get to a place where we're clean on the inside, so we can have a better kind of life. Sadly, I don't have the power. Any of us who are in any kind of recovery program or science of mind teaching, we don't have the power to do it for you. If we would, we could. If we could, we would definitely do it. I would do it. But try as I might to fix people throughout my entire life, it never worked. And I've tried plenty with countless people. And the thing to learn for me anyway is that was probably the first 25 years. People call it different things. You don't have to label it. It's called codependency. It's really where you're so other focused that you're probably not putting the focus on the most important person in the world, which is yourself. Louise, in her wonderful book, You Can Heal Your Life, states when you really, really, really love yourself, everything in your life begins to work. And it's a huge shift because many of us are trained to go out there and be good people, be good, and to help others. And helping others is certainly a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. One of my best teachers was Bill Tolliver from Fort Lauderdale. And, he talked a lot about you can't fill up an empty hole. You can't do for others what they must do for themselves. And wherever and however you're attached to doing that, you're going to have a lot of pain. Because the end result is they're going to reject your help most likely. They're going to reject you furthermore. So it's not even, it doesn't work on many levels. It doesn't work for them, it doesn't work for you, and it brings a lot of misery. One of the books I read, I forget the authors at this point because they all blend in my mind, but I believe the statement is true. All healing is self-healing. That could be maybe Jerry Gentileschi of A Course in Miracles. It doesn't matter, the idea. All healing is self-healing. Another beautiful line from the Course in Miracles, which ties into this idea, is in truth, there's nothing outside of you. In truth, there's no thing outside of you. What I've learned in my metaphysical studies over the years is I'm creating my world. And I'm creating the people in my world to be whatever I want them to be or whatever I need them to be. My Savior, my lover, my friend, I create you to be whatever I need you to be. And you know what? It's not the truth of you. The truth of you is that you're whole, complete, beautiful, wonderful beings of light and wonder. I might have you being a scoundrel this week. Or an in-law, an outlaw. I can create you to be all kinds of things. That's my subjective reality based upon my history with you. His story. Well, okay, you said something to me that I didn't like, and I have an opinion. Or you said a bunch of things, and I have a bunch of other opinions. So I've got a story about you. That's not the truth of you. The truth of you, again, is that you're whole and beautiful and complete and wonderful, and you always have been. In a good moment, on a good day, I know that about each of you. When I'm clear, I can say namaste, and I know what that means. I can see the divinity and the beauty in you, and I know the truth of you. When I'm in my day-to-day living, and I'm in my stories, and I'm very involved in things, I'll create you to be 1,000 things. None of them probably are what? Right. So they call us truth students. And we are. We're focused on the truth. And the truth is a funny thing. It's a beautiful study because the thing is, if you understand what I learned in my third year of classes many years ago, is that we live in a unitary field, as Deepak Chopra would say. We live in a world of connection, of oneness, of beauty. It's unbelievable. And it exists for you, and it's full of potential and beauty, and it's wooing you, as Emerson said. Wooing you endlessly and always to the greatness that it is, and you are. So we wake each day with a new opportunity to see things in a new way. And some of us do it pretty well. Throughout the course of the day, we're pretty good. And as you study this teaching, you see it more and more in those moments, and sometimes they're just moments, expand somewhat. Where you have days where you're clear, you're clearer. So the science of mind is a practice. It's a practice of seeing the truth. It's a practice of practicing the presence. Seeing the truth, knowing the truth, practicing the presence. What does the phrase practice the presence suggest? What comes up for you when I even say that? I've been contemplating this idea probably since around 1980. Maybe a little bit before. Practicing the presence. Just let that, think about that. If you practice seeing the presence, knowing the presence, it means you're communing with life in such a way where you're knowing that God is where? Here, now, in you, operating through you, as you. You are one with it. It's in you. It is the very life force that animates you. You live in a world where there is God and nothing else. And I know people say, well, what about all these bad people and these bad events and bad and more bad? Because that's a construct of which your mind thinks. Ernest Holmes said this. He said, we're always in the perfect place at the perfect time. Louise Hay would say everyone is doing the best that they can with the information, and the understanding, and the awareness that they have. And sometimes that would make me god-awful mad, because I will see that these people are acting like complete fools, doing harm to people. You know, I want to shoot them or kill them or lock them up. Something. You know, and it doesn't sound terribly spiritual. But that's me. You know, I don't like it. You know, I want to save somebody. I want to stop the destruction, and I want to, you know. And you do too. And it's a tough one. It's a tough one to accept. The thing is, I would ask you just to think for a moment in your own life. You know, we're all raised by somebody, or a group of somebodies, or a set of parents, grandparents, somebody. And we were taught things by people. We were taught to love, we were taught to hate, we were taught who was good, we were taught who was bad, we were taught who was an in-law, who was an outlaw. We learned many, many, many things by well-intentioned people. I presume well-intentioned. The poem I usually read, and I'm not going to today, it's from Thich Nhat Hanh, which is called "Please Call Me by My True Names." And in that poem, he's a Vietnamese Buddhist priest, a prolific writer, Nobel Peace Prize winner, I believe. "Please Call Me by My True Names" is a story, a poem of 3 or 4 characters. It's, I think, Malaysia or somewhere near Vietnam, where there's a pirate on a raft and there's a girl that becomes raped in the course of the poem, and it's a series of things that are happening. There's a frog that's swimming in the river that devours a fly, and there's the pirate that molests the girl, there's the girl who throws herself over the boat. There's a lot going on in that poem. And it asks you to ask yourself a few questions. You know, can you see yourself? Who do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself in that poem? And the answer is going to be, I see myself in each one of those people, each one of those events. I am that. We did a movie a few years ago called The Moses Code, and we did classes around it. And one of the most helpful things that came from that experience, from the Moses Code and from Debbie Ford's work, she works with Shadow Self, is for me to see that I am that. I am the love, I am the lover, I am the scoundrel, I am the good guy, I am the bad guy, I'm the pirate, I am the person who's been taken advantage of, I am all of those things. Once you can begin to see yourself in others, like the poem, what that poem really brings you to, the door of compassion opens up within you. Because you can then understand a little bit better how people show up doing what they do. You happen just to be in a different place. It's not that you are different. The American Indians had the clue in a simpler way. Don't judge anybody unless you walked a mile in their moccasins. If you had the life they had, the parents they had, and the circumstances were the same, you probably would be the same. So it's pretty easy to judge. It's a lot more wise to listen and have compassion. Unless anybody thinks that I'm completely daft, I'm not saying don't lock people up. You know, I don't mean don't separate people who are doing harm from society or anything like that. But what I am talking about is so we can live in a clean way, in a way that's exuberant and hopeful, with a sense of fun and optimism. One of the quickest ways to get there is to have compassion and forgiveness. And the realization that everybody is doing the best they can with the information that they have, the understanding and the awareness. Awareness is a big word. I've talked to many people for the past 2-3 decades who would counsel with me and say, but they knew better, they knew better, they knew better. You know, I hear that, right? And I'm so reminded of Louise Hay, and she'll say in the book, if they really, truly knew better, you can't imagine that they would be doing this to themselves just for fun. You know, people's level of understanding and awareness is what it is. Just because I was taught something doesn't mean I know something. Just because I've heard it said doesn't mean I embrace it. We've all heard the little story of I think it's the flood, and there's a scorpion that needs to get to dry land, and it's going to drown. And there's a frog swimming around, you know, having fun in the water. And the scorpion says, you know, give me a ride over there. Right? And the frog says, no, not going to do that. You're a scorpion. The scorpion says, well, you're going to be okay. We don't have to do anything to you. So, damn foolish frog. Scorpion gets on his back, goes to the other side. Just as he gets to dry land, the scorpion gives him the fatal sting. And, you know, and the question is, I just saved you. Why are you doing this? Well, it's because I'm a scorpion. That's what I do. You know, people are where they are. They do what they do. You know, and you can say forever that, you know, people are bad or things are evil, and you can go that way if you want to. Or you can learn from some of the philosophers, historians, great spiritual people throughout time, like Pascal. I remember reading him when I was taking philosophy at Boston University, I think I was at the time. And I remember the test. I had a little crib sheet because I wanted to figure out how these philosophers were getting me confused. And I think he was a mathematician / philosopher nonetheless. And the answer to his philosophy was to bet on God. It's a safer way to live. Such a simple idea. You can keep on talking about what's wrong, or you can keep on talking about what's right. A religious scientist is a person, and we call it the transcendental movement. That's where we get our origins. I can keep on focusing on the problem, or I can transcend and I can look above the problem towards a greater truth. I can keep on talking what's wrong here, the center, the people, who done what wrong, or I can keep on focusing on something else. I can bet on the good. Edwina Gaines, New Thought teacher, same idea. She says it with a lot of fanfare and flair. She's a funny woman. You know, if you've ever seen her. She interchangeably uses the word God and good. To her, they're absolutely synonymous. She'll use them interchangeably. She keeps seeing the God and the good and the God. What does she see all the time? The good or the God. She won't talk about what? She won't go there. It doesn't mean that she's stupid, right? It doesn't mean that she's dumb. It doesn't mean that look, I recognize that there's certain things in life, we call them facts. I talk in the classes about my bank balance at Wells Fargo. Leslie can tell you what's in it. What is it, Leslie? She forgot.
It's a fact.
$14 and what did I even say? 32 cents. I've used the same number for 5 years. Okay. This is where Greg is like. Well, I mean, whatever it is a fact. And this piece of paper might be, okay, my most recent blood work, my triglycerides are this, and this is that, and this is the other thing, right? Those are more facts. So I got all these experts saying a bunch of stuff about my banking and about my health and all that. Those are facts. We're not suggesting you ignore the facts, but we want you to understand the facts are not always the truth. From this piece of paper, my Wells Fargo statement, I could be telling myself, oh my God, it's negative 14 no less. I'm broke. I'm broken, I'm worthless, and I'm this. All from a piece of paper. And from this one, oh my God, Jesus, I'm going to have a heart attack, my high blood sugar, I'm a mess. I can tell myself lots of things, right? Facts. Truth. Truth is, This is a piece of paper about my finances. Each of us are one with unlimited supply. Each of us are inlets and outlets of a universe that has the ability to prosper you in ways you can't even imagine. In our teaching, we suggest, we teach, we show you how to make what Bill Tolliver used to call a demand on consciousness. We don't pray here wishing, hoping, begging. If you go to the ocean of life, as Louise Hay would say, begging like a pauper, with a belief that you don't deserve and you can't get, and dear God, save me, you know what, you're going to get very little. As my father used to say, you're going to get what the birds got for breakfast. You're not going to get a lot. But if you dynamically approach the ocean of life with a sense of, I'm one with it and I deserve good. This $14 and whatever Wells Fargo is baloney. I'm a rich child from a loving parent, mother, father, that gives me everything. Whose only good wish is to give me. And it's so lavishly generous that I have plenty to use and plenty to share, plenty to spare, because I'm an inlet and outlet. It flows. I prosper them, and as I give, I'm opening up more avenues for receiving. It's the lack of faith that causes the problem. We teach in the Science of Mind teaching about the law of having. Those who have will have more. Didn't like that one, Chunder. Because the thing is, it's true. If you have a consciousness of supply and support, you have more to give, and you trust, and more comes. And you might say, but I only have such and such in my paycheck. And I'll say, do you think that's your only source of good? Your reality is it is, sometimes. Unless you're working on yourself. If you're working on yourself, you know you're an inlet and outlet of everything. Okay, so this might be your one channel of income. You might believe that's the only place you're ever going to get a dime. That's it. That's, and the problem isn't a problem of money. God knows there's enough money around. The problem is learning how to open up your heart, your mind, and your consciousness to receive. And generally that's going to come from finding ways to give. What did he just say? The way to receive is to find new ways to give. If you're not trusting the process of life and you're shut down, you're all focused on what you can get, you're doing it backwards. Emerson, I think, said life loves a giver. Well, then, and I believe that. Now, find ways to be of service and to give of your time, talent, and treasure. And the person who's going to be blessed is yourself. And one thing that's going to happen is you're going to start to have a smile on your face when you see kids or people getting up and singing. You can't help but laugh. If you can't even appreciate that, it means you're lost in your own mind and your own thoughts, and nobody's going to get through to you. There's nobody nicer to be nicer to than you being nice to you. And Louise Hay, really, that's the whole work. I love, accept, and approve of myself. I love, accept, and approve of myself. I deserve a good life. And the facts might be piling up. Ain't it awful? Yeah, it is pretty rough. It looks tough, but this is not the truth of you. I know some of you got some real problems right now. I know you know it, and you do. It's a little bit daunting. I could do jokes. In All the Places You Go here by Dr. Seuss, he said, and slumping yourself is not really a fun process. But it's something that's really, it's a worthwhile process. You're worth it, and you deserve it. And the thing is, you have no idea the loveliness, the joy, the beauty that you can have. It's all there for you. And I know some of you are doubting me because some of you say, oh my God, it's late, and I'm like 50, or I'm older, and whatever I am. And this has happened, that's happened, woe is me. You've got some stories. Some of you like, I don't know if you've been to jail, you've been to a lot of things. A lot of things have happened to you. And you can let those things define you and sink your ship. Or you can realize that this is a new moment, right here, right now, and everything is available to you. I'll say it again. There's absolutely nothing denied you. I'm reminded of the Course in Miracles. The peace of God is my one goal, my purpose, my function in my life. The peace of God is available to you. If financial supply is your worry, it's available to you. Better relationships, good people, good friendships, all available to you. You're denied nothing. The only thing that's ever stopping us from our good is what goes on in our consciousness. The law of mind suggests that your life is a reflection of your awareness, of your understanding. Said another way, we are cause to our own experience. And I'm going to say a couple things before I close. Never, never, never you're going to get out of me or anybody who really authentically knows or practices this teaching. You're not going to get judgment from us. It's just simply the law. I'm never going to suggest that anybody's to blame for anything. Nobody's at fault. It's not about fault. It's not about who's bad or who's good. It's really just, it's simply the law. Your life is reflecting you back. You've seen my classes before. I'll get onto the whiteboard and I'll say, I'll draw the pyramid and I'll put all of our thoughts and beliefs here. And then I'll have a projector image. And then over here will be the screen, and I'll say, here's your thoughts, your baloney, your BS, your belief system going through the projector onto the screen of your life. God isn't trying to hurt you. The universe isn't stacked against you. Just the opposite. Ralph Waldo Emerson said there's a corrective principle at life operating in you and through you. The universe is wooing you. It's trying to get your darn what? Yeah, and my God, you have some painful lessons you go through. How painful does it need to be? They used to say you get the nudge, you get the cosmic 2x4, and some of you need a Mack truck to get the lesson. If you were in an AA or NA program, I would ask you another question, which would be, have you lost enough yet? In those programs, they say rebellion dogs are every step. Well, eventually we wake up. And when we wake up, then we find a teaching like this, where Ernest Holmes will say, there's power for good in the universe, greater than you, of which you are a part, and you can use it. So, in this teaching, we're no longer victims of anything. Victims no more, right? We can actually pick up the reins and we can steer the ship. Steering the ship does require a little bit of surrendering. We need to get in the flow of life. The flow of life is, I'm going to align ourselves with certain virtues like peace, power, love, joy, beauty, wisdom. Once you get in the stream of what God is, you'll be amazed at the places you can go. If you want to go against the stream and not surrender to the beauty of that and be in resistance to it, then you're going to create a lot of pain for yourself and suffering. Our power comes from our connection with the source. When we're connected with it, there's no place that we can't go, and there's nothing that will stop us. The whole darn thing is designed for your success. Always has been. Louise Hay again. The question, what are you approaching the ocean of life with? Do you have the thimble? Big container, or bigger container, or some of you are so plugged in that you just, every cell in your body is one with. And they could take everything away from you over and over again, you keep getting filled up again. Because you know